Well, well, well. Look who lit the room on fire just by walking in. You can smell it, can't you? The sudden silence. The twitch behind every grin. The way their eyes dart away like guilty thieves caught in daylight. They said you wouldn't make it. They said you'd break before you'd burn bright. And yet, here you are. The flame they couldn't extinguish. The storm they couldn't forecast. Your success. It didn't just rise. It revealed. It peeled off every layer of politeness, every cheap disguise they wore while pretending to clap for you. Now their smiles melt under the heat of your name. Their applause sounds more like teeth grinding in envy. Ah, how poetic, isn't it? The same ones who buried you now, suffocating on the smoke of your return. They can't hide behind sympathy anymore. They can't act innocent when the firelight exposes their trembling hands. You didn't need revenge. You just needed results. And the moment you rose, their masks burned themselves. Welcome, star of the show. The curtain's gone. The truth is center stage. Every shadow that smiled at you is now standing naked in the light. Your success didn't just change you, it unmasked them. They played nice until your silence became dangerous. You remember, don't you? The theater where everyone wore smiles like costumes. Where every handshake was a script, every compliment rehearsed. They called it friendship. But you could smell the stage makeup. You were the quiet one, the dreamer, the one who clapped for others while they sharpened their knives behind the curtain. They loved you when you were harmless, when your voice trembled, when your light was dim enough to make them comfortable. But the day you stopped begging for validation, they panicked. The moment you turned your silence into armor, they rewrote your story as arrogance. Oh, how they performed. Fake laughter echoing across hollow rooms. Sympathy turned into gossip. Concern into control. They prayed your wings would never heal, because your flight would expose how small they really were. You saw it all, didn't you? The way they praised your pain, but mocked your recovery. The way they celebrated your humility, but feared your confidence. Every smile had a motive. Every hug, a hidden clause. You gave loyalty, they gave performance. You gave truth, they gave applause. But here's the irony they never expected. You learned their lines better than they did. You studied their tone, their pauses, their masks. And when the final act came, you didn't need to speak. You just watched, quietly, coldly, because you knew every fake character eventually forgets their script. Now the curtain is falling. And the spotlight, it's no longer yours. It's theirs. Because your success turned their theater into a courtroom. You stopped explaining, and they started trembling. At first, they thought your silence was surrender. They mistook your stillness for defeat, as if quiet meant broken. But silence in your hands became something surgical, precise, deadly. You stopped arguing. You stopped proving. You let their words echo in empty rooms until they started choking on their own noise. Every rumor they spread became another brick in your fortress. Every doubt they whispered became another reason to build. You learned the art of patience, not the kind born from weakness, but the kind that watches, records, and waits. You started collecting their betrayals like evidence. No anger, no outbursts, just a calm. That terrified them, because they realized the quiet ones remember. You remembered every smirk when you failed, every eye roll when you dreamed, every back that turned when you needed a hand. And while they laughed, you evolved. While they boasted, you built. While they mocked, you mapped their exits. Your silence wasn't absence. It was architecture. A design so intricate, they never saw it coming. You became fluent in restraint. You spoke through results. You didn't shout, you proved. Now they call it mystery. Now they call it discipline. But you know the truth. Silence was never peace. It was a blade, polished with patience. And the next time they tried to speak your name, they'd feel the edge of it slice through their lies. You never needed to make noise. You just needed to wait until the noise destroyed itself. They declared you guilty of ambition until the evidence screamed otherwise. Ah yes, the grand trial, the one they built against you in whispers. The courtroom wasn't made of marble, it was made of gossip. Every rumor was a gavel, every lie a verdict. They called you selfish for dreaming too loud. They called you arrogant for wanting more than survival. They painted your hunger as sin because they were starving for control. You didn't defend yourself. You didn't need to, because truth doesn't argue, it waits. And when the moment came, it arrived like thunder. Every success you earned became an exhibit in your defense. Every wound they gave you became a signed confession. Their testimonies collapsed under the weight of your results. Funny, isn't it? They built a case to bury you and ended up burying themselves in evidence. Now, the jury of public opinion looks their way, not yours. Their masks are melting under cross-examination. Their words contradict their faces. Their loyalty contradicts their laughter. You stand there, calm, not to prove innocence, but to remind them. You were never on trial. They were. The same mouths that cursed your name now tremble when it's spoken. The same hands that pointed at you now hide behind regret. This isn't revenge. This is revelation. The truth has no mercy. It simply exposes. And as you stand over the ashes of their verdict, you realize. Justice doesn't need applause. It only needs time. Because sooner or later, every mask falls. And when it does, the real criminals beg for silence. You didn't change. They just can't survive the reflection anymore. Now the silence belongs to them. The same mouths that once mocked you have forgotten how to speak. Because your rise didn't just prove them wrong. It showed them who they've always been. And the truth is uglier than your scars ever were. Look at them now, scrambling to rewrite history. They call it misunderstanding. They call it miscommunication. But you see the panic, the sweat, the stutter. You see their eyes dart away like fugitives escaping light. They wanted you small, so your success feels like violence to them. They wanted you humble, so your confidence feels like blasphemy. They wanted you silent, so your voice sounds like thunder. They whisper that you've changed, that success made you cruel. No, success just made you visible, and visibility is fatal to those who hide behind illusions. Now every smile looks rehearsed, every apology sounds strategic. They want forgiveness. Not because they've evolved, but because they've been exposed. Your presence has become a mirror, and they can't stand the reflection. Because when you walk into the room, they see every mask they ever wore, cracking, peeling, melting in real time. You don't even need to speak. Your existence is the confrontation. Your peace is the punishment. Your glow, the confession light they can't escape. They can't unsee what success revealed. They can't unfeel the guilt crawling under their skin. And now, every breath you take reminds them that the ghost they buried didn't die. It evolved, and it's staring right at them. You didn't just rise, you purified the theater. Now it's quiet again. Not the silence of defeat, but the silence after judgment. The kind that follows when every truth has testified and every mask has fallen to dust. You don't chase revenge anymore. You've outgrown it. Because you learned there's no satisfaction in proving them wrong when your very existence does it louder. Their names don't sting anymore. Their voices fade like echoes in an empty cathedral. You walk through the ruins of their pretenses and feel no hate, only clarity. The applause that once fed your hunger now feels hollow. Because you finally understand, you never needed them to see you. You needed them to reveal themselves, and they did. Your success became holy fire, cleansing, not cruel. It burned deceit into honesty, envy into admission. You didn't destroy them. You unveiled them. You turned their heaven, that fragile illusion of virtue, into truth's inferno. Now, there's nothing left to prove. No verdict to reverse, no throne to claim, only peace. Sharp, still, unbothered. Let them call you ruthless. Let them whisper villain. Because history always confuses purity with destruction. You didn't burn bridges. You burned masks. And the world, at last, sees them as they are, while you walk through the smoke, untouched. And now, the audience knows who the real villain was.